For most people, the bulk of their wealth is tied to the value of their home. However, regardless of how well a property is maintained, there are external forces which have an impact on home values, which are out of the homeowner's control. These factors, individually or combined, impact real estate value and may also have an impact on how quickly a home is sold. The four factors are social forces, economic forces, housing construction costs, and governmental matters. As a real estate professional, it is important to have an understanding of how each impacts real estate values. The impact of social forces on real estate. Social forces are unique to every neighborhood. An example of this is if a neighborhood has numerous small commercial properties and more people are opting to work from home. The office space may remain empty. This would mean the real estate was a riskier investment. Keep in mind, when the social makeup of a neighborhood begins changing, property values may also be impacted. Smaller families may replace large families, seniors may replace newlyweds, etc. Other factors include population trends. When a neighborhood is going through a period of stability, housing values tend to be stable. Should the neighborhood go through a period of growth with new properties being built, making a neighborhood attractive, the price of housing will typically increase. In times when people are fleeing the neighborhood due to various forces, such as crime rates, the homes in the area tend to decline. Family composition. The makeup of families has an impact on real estate. Today, more than ever, we have blended families where you may have parents living with children, children living with parents, or you may have two parents who are now sharing a home. This means the demand for specific property configurations is different. Let's face it, a two-bedroom ranch will not be suitable for two parents who have 4 children between them. Aging population. There is no question that the overall population of the United States is getting older. Real estate that is specifically designed to meet those needs of an aging population, such as senior housing developments, will see values increasing, while starter homes, those designed for young couples who may be considering starting a family, will decline. Seniors are typically interested in smaller homes, usually with a single floor, and need easy access to medical care, making neighborhoods that fit this mold more popular and therefore more valuable to seniors. Understanding economic forces. Various economic issues will impact neighborhoods. For example, if a specific area loses a large factory or a large company moves from the city, the home values in the area will suffer as a result. This is largely due to the fact that employment will decrease, meaning income levels are decreasing. Conversely, if an area goes through a period where new employers are moving into the area, the employment levels increase, incomes tend to increase, and therefore property values increase. Remember, someone may want to purchase property, but if their income is not stable, they cannot justify the expense. Stop and think about a suburban neighborhood with 50 to 100 homes where more than half of the residents are employed by a large employer in a nearby city. Should that employer shutter their doors, many of these locals could potentially need to sell their homes to find a more affordable home. This means a glut of real estate in the market, resulting in lower prices. It is also important to keep in mind that there is one other factor impacting every property on the market, and that is availability of capital. If mortgage lending is easily accessible, property values are likely to show a modest increase. This is particularly true if lenders are motivated to lend. Motivating factors may include stable interest rates, low foreclosure rates, or strong employment numbers. However, if the opposite happens, lenders may tighten lending, resulting in fewer people being able to secure a mortgage to purchase a home. The net result is lower property values because the homes are sitting on the market for longer periods of time because there is less demand. Real estate professionals must have an understanding of the various economic forces that could have an impact on real estate values. These numbers are tied not only to available opportunities in the area, they are also tied to the age of the population in the neighborhood. An example of this would be an area that is remote and has no large employers. These areas are likely to attract only older people without children, since chance is there are fewer opportunities and likely fewer local services or schools. The impact of construction costs. The cost of financing new home construction can be complicated. There are hard and soft costs involved in all construction projects. Hard costs include construction materials, the purchase of land, labor, etc. Soft costs include items like permits for construction, costs to rezone property for the use the builder intends, and utility connection fees, to name a few. These costs often determine the builder's willingness to develop new properties. Other factors that must be considered include interest rates and the availability of money. When interest rates increase, fewer consumers are eligible for mortgage loans. Additionally, fewer investors will be interested in commercial and rental properties because their cost of funds is higher, meaning the property is less valuable to their portfolio. In addition to the cost of financing, factors such as location also have an impact on new construction. Physical conditions, such as land that will not pass perk tests, wetland restrictions, and other environmental factors also impact the value of land. These factors have an impact on construction costs because they often consist of higher costs for permits, additional studies, etc. Local transportation issues, which are largely dependent on the location of a property, will also play a role in property values. Areas with a good public transportation system or easy access to interstate highways are often valued higher than more remote properties. This is because homeowners will always look at convenience when deciding where they prefer to purchase a home. Finally, another factor that is likely to play a role in home value and construction costs is the area weather. While average temperatures may not impact value directly, climate issues like flooding, wind, and other natural phenomena can impact the value of property. Builders who purchase homes in areas where tornadoes or hurricanes are common tend to believe those properties will be lower in value than homes which do not have these types of weather hazards. As a real estate professional, it is important to understand what factors may negatively impact a property to enable you to discuss sales prices with sellers. While not every factor will impact every property, Understanding the unique characteristics that impact individual neighborhoods is an invaluable tool that will help you understand the appraised value of properties. Governmental issues and property values. Let's face it, regulations are everywhere. This is true when you are building a home, buying a home, or selling a home. However, there are governmental issues that have a direct impact on the value of property that you should be aware of as you pursue your career in real estate. Some of the more common factors include taxes, quality of schools, and quality of services. Let's break them down one by one. Taxes. Property taxes are a concern for those who are purchasing a home. One of the questions most buyers will ask is about the property tax rate, and in many cases, when was the last time the rates increased? In addition, some municipalities have their own tax, separate from taxes that are collected as property taxes. These taxes will have the effect of depressing property values. The higher the taxes, the fewer people who will be interested in the home. Quality of schools. This will be particularly important in areas where there are single-family homes that attract couples with children. If the quality of the schools in the area is lacking, the property values will be depressed because parents will not want to be in the area. This is one factor that may not impact property values in places like retirement communities, but in most neighborhoods it will certainly play a role in property values. Quality of services. When we think of town-supplied services, we tend to think about fire and police. However, factors like town or city sewer, internet access, and trash pickup can also play a role in property values. Let's take a look at simply internet access. Today, more people are gravitating to working part or full-time from home, which means they need reliable internet access. If a community lacks even basic internet, this will decrease property values because fewer people, particularly young people, will be interested in buying in the community. While a seller may have taken extraordinarily good care of their home, there are factors beyond their control that may still make the property less valuable than they believe.